Radius without an army of backup. I will forget it. Open the door. I won't ask again.
So we are talking Never Let Go. This one written and directed by Howard J. Ford. Now, he was the man behind the two Dead movies. The Dead movies were two zombie films. The first one took place in Africa, the second in India, and they're pretty darn good, actually. But here he's turned his attention to action movies, particularly the style of action movies made kind of popular by Liam Neeson in recent years. So this is Taken with the Ladies, basically. So the story here focuses on Angela Dixon's character, as she is an FBI agent who is a single mother who has gone on holiday to Morocco to try and kind of get away. She's kind of stressed out of her life, etc. But while she's in Morocco, her baby is kidnapped. And of course, she wants to get this baby back with any means necessary and obviously get revenge on the perpetrators who took her. Now, in the UK, obviously, and around the world, obviously, this is human trafficking. Babies being kidnapped is obviously a terrible thing. There's a very kind of famous case in the UK of a young girl called Madeleine McCann who was taken while she was on holiday. And that was years ago, but even now we kind of still hear about it in the news. So obviously, this is every kind of parent's worst nightmare. So you can imagine, obviously, if you are a parent and you're watching this, you can kind of, the tension will be very high for you. I've got to say I have some mixed feelings with this movie, but let's talk about the positives first of all. First things me, and obviously this movie is led by the actress Angela Dixon, who I thought did a very, very good job of portraying this very kind of desperate woman who will go to any lengths to get her child back, and we really do see her kind of like pull no punches in regards to what she has to do, and really pushes herself to obviously to get her child back, and maybe even go to some morally ambiguous kind of situations. And I've got to say, this is a very exciting film. This is a thrilling action movie from start to finish. It doesn't have the kind of the budget that maybe the Taken films do, but nonetheless, for what it has got, I think it does very, very well. The cinematography here is also beautiful. The on-location shooting looks absolutely stunning. And it really does benefit from this to make it kind of feel an authentic and kind of that element of both beauty and kind of danger. And obviously it's populated by, you have a lot of kind of ancillary characters, the police, etc., all of whom are played by, and obviously ethnic appropriate actors and such. But what didn't work for me, the weird thing for me, and it's a writing choice, is all of the female characters in this movie, literally all of them, are protagonists, whilst nearly every single man is some kind of antagonist. So it's a very odd setup, and I've got to say it feels like there's a bit of an agenda there, I have to say. I don't know what that agenda necessarily is. I'm not going to comment on it, but it does feel slightly jarring when you're kind of watching this and what it's kind of trying to say. That was the first thing. Second thing, some of the action sequences didn't quite work for me. There's particularly where we have some fist fighting. Angela Dixon's character is this FBI agent, so she's clearly had some kind of training, but I don't know if I can believe that she would be this total kick-ass who can take down police, criminals, pretty much anyone. She's like the Terminator. But the action scenes are shot with a mixture of kind of shaky cams, so you can't see what's going on. And then you have like a close-up of Angela Dixon's face. And it's clear that obviously it's done that, so we can't, you can't, she's not doing her own stunts, basically. So it looks a little bit jarring in certain scenes. So when we do get those fight scenes, I don't think they're particularly well shot. The camera is either, we have a close-up on Angela Dixon's face, then we have a kind of a blur of fists and stuff. So it's clear, obviously, there's some kind of there's some tricks there in regards to how the action is shot. Some of the acting as well, I've got to say, not the main cast, but some of the peripheral actors is a little weaker. And it does kind of veer on cheesy moments. And I've mentioned, obviously, the kind of the fight scenes, but somehow I think it maybe goes a little bit OTT with how she's almost superpowered, this woman, to be honest with you. So it kind of veers out of a realistic kind of scenario from time to time, and it kind of goes into almost a kind of like she's some kind of supernatural force to what she's actually doing. However, that being said, it's still an enjoyable film. It's a fun, exciting action movie with some, there's a fast-paced movie with an interesting kind of lead character. It was a good performance, shot on interesting locales. So overall, it's pretty decent. If you like the kind of the Taken movies, then you'll like this. But I do have a problem with some of the writing. I really do. That kind of really bothered me, I've got to say. So overall, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.